Hi guys, it's David again here at EGX2014 and I am joined by Al of Laughing Jackal and we are here for Flame Over.
That's right, yeah.
First of all, could you tell me what your involvement is in the game for development and such?
So I'm the designer and producer of the game, so it's my concept and then we all sort of chip it together to turn it into a game, yeah.
Awesome. Could you describe your game in 10 words or less?
I think so. It is a firefighting twin stick shooter with roguelike elements.
It's good. Close enough.
Yeah, about 7, 8, yeah. We call it a Pyroguelike, courtesy of one of our Twitter followers came up with it. It's pretty good.
It's nice, I like it. Yeah. What was the influence or idea for the game? Where did that come from?
So I love like old school roguelikes, and I played a lot of Spelunky, and then I volunteered to be a fire officer or whatever it is, fire marshal at work, and I had to sit through this sort of two-person seminar about how fire can spread through a room and other stuff. My mind sort of started wandering. I started thinking it'd be a cool thing to sort of mix them together, but in a more action-oriented way. So rather than turn-based, make it just quick, easy to play, and yeah.
Awesome. What was the thought behind picking PlayStation for the primary platform? Because you're going to release on Vita and then PlayStation 4.
Yeah, so we're working with Sony. I mean, I've been doing submissions to Sony for years in various roles, but we got invited onto the Minis program right at the start of that. So we did like 11 Minis, I think. So we've got a pretty good relationship. And I just pitched the concept for Flame Over to our account manager. So he sort of connected us with strategic content. Yeah. So Shahid and some of the other guys there, and they sort of helped us get it off the ground. And so obviously Vita's the sort of lead platform, and then hopefully we can go on to PS4. And
so they really liked it. They wanted to.
Yeah, straight away they liked the sort of general concept of the game and the name of the game. Yeah. Which we came up with really quickly.
I like the name as well.
Yeah, it's just like something where you're going to die a lot, right? So yeah, it seemed like a good fit.
So you mentioned on the info, like the detail of the game on the website and such, you've got 4 zones. I wonder if you could tell us about that.
Yeah, so you start off in an office environment. Every sort of zone or theme has got like a menu of rooms that it could pick to build a level from. There's about 300 to 400 for each of the themes. Yeah. So for every level, it goes through that list, and depending on how many sort of doors and stuff you want to, how maze-like you want to make it, how difficult, it picks about 10 to 15 rooms, and drops you in. So single play through the game, you probably see maybe 80 rooms out of about 1,500. So there's tons of replay value there. So first one is an office, which was based off our own office really, because that was how I sort of arrived at the idea in the first place. And then there's like an executive suite, so a bit more luxurious, like a sort of gentleman's club atmosphere. Everything's much more flammable in there. And then there's a lab with some chemicals and gas and other horrible stuff. And then the last one's a factory with lots of explosives. There's like proximity barrels that if you walk near them, they'll start to go off. Things like horrible stuff like that.
So each level, each zone is not only like aesthetically different. Each one brings new challenges.
Yeah.
And that would like ramp up the difficulty curves.
Definitely.
You've got more obstacles, more things to put out, more things to manage.
I don't think in its latest incursion, I don't think I've finished the last zone yet.
Oh, so it's a difficult game.
So we're balancing it, obviously. It will be finishable. But
it's got to be a challenge, though.
Yeah. So like those games, we want it to be something where at first you can pick it up, understand. Yeah. So hence the twin stick thing. It's like everyone gets that genre already. So do something like that that's easy to understand, but then just layer on all these systems. So how the fire spreads. Every object in the game burns at a different speed, depending on what it's made of, and it'll attack you in a different way. They shoot like fireballs at you, and fire sort of streaks on the floor, or sort of explosives drop on you, and horrible, all this nasty stuff. And it's just up to you to sort of put 2 and 2 together and figure out ways of getting through.
So I was playing yesterday, and I noticed that because the fire spreads, by the time you get to the end of the game, the entire room is full of fire. Yeah. Is there any other kind of things on that theme that you've included, like during each level that things get difficult, or you've got to micromanage things? Or
so there's a few things you've got to be thinking about. There's the your water and foam levels.
Yeah.
So you've got a hose, an axe, and an extinguisher. They work different ways. So the hose is like quite long range, but obviously narrow beam. But on the plus point, it soaks the environment, so it takes fire longer to come back into an area that's been soaked with a hose. The extinguisher is like the sort of shotgun, so really it almost instantaneously puts fire out, but then it leaves a hole that's not wet, so the fire can sort of very quickly jump back in. What else can I tell you? There's also the electricity. That's like a big thing. It's harmless in itself, but it constantly, the fire spreads at its own speed depending on what it's in contact with. But the electricity is like even worse. It instantly, constantly looks to pump out more fire. So you can whiz through the level, find the power supply, turn that off. You're managing your water level, looking for water sources like sinks. I think you can even use fish tanks. There's jacuzzi, that'll even work. There's hose and axe points hidden around, and there's obviously power-ups that you can buy in like a shop. As you're buying those, you're manually selecting the one you want to be using at any one time. So you'll really be trying to preserve the lives of the guys that you save to give yourself more time. And then you might, for a speed one, you want to obviously be using your speed boots. Or things. So there's loads to think about.
So lots of replay value.
It's
like
just plate spinning constantly. Like, we want you to feel like initially sort of panics, but then it's kind of like a game where you sort of clean up. So it's sort of a bit OCD. So I want it to be like overwhelming, but then more and more control, and then that's from there comes satisfaction.
So with the game not being out yet, what is next for the game? Are you going to add stuff?
So we're kind of at alpha at the moment. We've got a sort of balancing period now. We want to improve the UI. It's been really interesting EGX actually, watching people play it cold, and there's all sorts of things that I'll change now to make it even more intuitive. I mean, it's pretty simple to understand, but like feedback on damage, exiting the level, things like that, just to make it a bit more fluid. And there's sort of stretch goals that I've got, really, like things. I'd love to do a daily challenge. So it's so high difficulty to score a proper leaderboard entry. You really need to finish it. So that's quite a high bar. So if you've got a single level goal every day, that's sort of more achievable. So they'll keep people interested.
And again, as the replay.
Plus we've got like upgrades, perpetual upgrades between levels. So there's those two hooks. Hopefully, people who aren't so into roguelikes, they'll feel like they're getting a bit of carrot with their stick.
So have you managed to get out and play anything else here, or have you been?
I've certainly been looking. I know a few people around, so I've been over at Future Lab playing Velocity 2X quite a lot. Really enjoyed Volume. I've played. What else have I played? This Minutes game. I really like that. Wherever that is, somewhere around here, over there. And I've been looking at a lot of stuff.
So is there anything you're looking forward to playing? That
Heat Signature, I think, looks wicked.
We just did an interview with him. It does look like it's going to be an amazing game.
One of those things where you just think, so annoyed that I didn't think of that. I'm just jealous.
Well, that's awesome. Thanks for taking the time to speak with us. We're looking forward to the game.
Good.
You can grab it on Vita and PlayStation 4. When did you say you're aiming to get it out?
End of the year Vita, PS4 soon as after that. We're still sort of looking at how close together we can bring those two. Closer the better for me. And then in the future it's in Unity, so anything.
Awesome. Well, keep an eye out for that. And thanks again.
Cool. Cheers. Thanks.